Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I don't have anybody in the room today to do a mic check, so hopefully, uh, I've got to get out later today and pick up a new mic because it's not working. So I'm going through the microphone on the laptop. So, what an ugly, ugly loss today. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network. The Giants look pathetic today. Brandon Crawford on the defensive side looked like he was, instead of 36, he looked like he was 56. My goodness, it was bad. And then Brett Wisely, I think they got credit for 3 errors, but Crawford should have had an error on the throw from Sable down to second base. He whiffed on it. I mean, took his eye off the ball, went right through his glove, and would have had an out, would have been able to have been catch and tag. Just an ugly loss all the way around. Not much you can say about it. But hitting, getting second and third in the first inning, nobody out, not scoring. Later on, loading up the bases with bases loaded, nobody out, didn't get a run in. This is, just pathetic baseball today. As Lou says it himself, how can you win playing crappy defense and most important, runners second, third, no out, no one out equals 0 runs, then bases loaded late in the game, 0 outs equals 0 runs. Exactly, Lou. Those were my thoughts as I was watching. I knew the game was over. I felt it, kind of felt it like when they didn't score in the top of the first, and then the leadoff batter for the Twins hits a home run. It was kind of like, oh, you can't score a runner from third base with nobody out, and then the Twins come up and hit a leadoff homer. It just felt like from there on out. I've seen enough baseball in my life to know that when things like that happen, it's just not going to be your day. So this is going to be a very quick post-game show, afternoon. A lot of people still working. And so not a lot in the chat today. So we're going to get this thing through pretty quick. My guess is, unless the chat really gets bigger, we'll probably not go past 1:30. So if you got some thoughts, get them out there in the comments. Let's discuss it. I just didn't like the way they looked today. They looked flat. DeSclafani looked like he was, every time he gave up a run or something happened, he looked over at the dugout like, get me out of here. I don't want to be in here. I don't want my ERA going up. I mean, few of the runs he gave up were unearned, but I mean, it should have been like a 2-1 game, literally. With the lack of defense, should have been 2-1, and the Giants didn't get any timely hitting, so they didn't deserve to win. At one point, I think they were 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. You're not going to win baseball games that way. I mean, Casey Schmidt got the knock. I don't know why he's down so low in the order, personally, and I don't understand. Maybe a game like today is a reason that you'll see Isan Diaz here soon and Brett Wisely going down. Brett Wisely's a good young kid, but he's not carrying his weight at the plate. He got on late in the game with a bunt single, but if you're going to be up in the majors and hitting 160, whatever he's hitting, let me see what Brett Wisely is actually hitting after today. Wisely's hitting 177. Yeah, he went 1 for 4 and his average went up. Yeah, he batted 250 today, so his average went up because he was at 161 or whatever he was. So had he went 1 for 5, his average still would have went up. That's how bad he's been hitting. So if you're not going to hit in the majors, you got to at least field. And Brandon Crawford's hitting 172, and he really had 2 errors today. Like I said, Craw's my guy as far as, but you're not going to be able to put him out there if he's going to have performances like this on a even semi-regular basis. I mean, you're going to have to spot play him, but I don't know. His head just didn't look like he was in the game today. Giants just looked so flat. So, Chardall, how long have you been a Giants fan? Since 1968. I was 7 years old, and I knew what baseball was back then. When I was 7 years old, I was playing in the I don't even know what they called it back then. I think it was Pee Wee baseball or PCL or whatever the heck it was. I was out playing center field. I had a fly ball, line drive come out to me, caught it. Guy was on second base. Of course, he was 7. He didn't have, I had 2 older brothers. And so I learned baseball in the backyard, and I learned it early, and I learned the rules. And the kid of second base just took off running. He had no clue that he could get doubled up. So I ran all the way into second base and had an unassisted double play because the kid, I thought if I threw it in, it'd probably get past somebody because most kids couldn't catch. I'd been playing since I was, literally 4 or 5 years old, learning, with a glove and everything. So I was a fan when I was 7 years old of the Giants. Saw Bobby Bonds come up as a rookie. Yep, that's Barry's dad. For some of you guys that may not know that, but most of you do. But I've been a Giants fan, and I suffered for many, many years. From 72 to 87, it was suffrage. It was awful. I mean, there wasn't even a good season in there except 78 where they were competitive. But 72 through 77 stunk. 78 was a good year. They didn't make the playoffs, but it was entertaining. 79, 80, 81, awful. 82 was a kind of a fun year. They went down to the wire, almost made the playoffs. They were 1 game out, tied with the Dodgers, I believe, on a Friday night at Candlestick. The Braves were 1 game up. That was a fun year, just being in a pennant race. Was fun for just suffering Giants fans. 84, 85 was awful, the worst. 86, Will Clark, Robbie Thompson came up. We started having some hope, and then Hum Baby, came with 86. 87, they win the division. Should have went to the World Series. We're up 3-2, St. Louis, and lost game 6 in St. Louis, 1-0. Candy Maldonado, I think, in right field, had a ball that was hit to him, lost it in the lights. They lost 1-0. Then they lost game 7. Then 89, we made the World Series, which was the big Quake series. You guys remember that? 3 weeks in October. Heck of a book. You guys don't have that. Just a lot of stuff about the game, the World Series, and the earthquake. Fun little book here. Interesting pictures in this book. But yeah, I mean, that was something. 89. There's in fact, there's Bobby Bonds right there. That's Bobby with Dave Stewart. So yeah, 89, good year. And then what else we got? After 89, 90 was, the 90s were tough, the early 90s, until 93 when the Giants signed Barry Bonds. And that was greatest signing the Giants have ever done. That was the beginning of the, Peter McGowan bought the club, almost moved to Tampa Bay. They were very, very close to going to Tampa Bay. Giants, Peter McGowan basically saved them. And then the group bought the team, and then they were smart enough to get Barry Bonds. At that point, it was like a 7-year contract for $43 million overall. Now guys are making over $43 million a year. Lou says, nice hat. Thanks, Lou. Same as me, 7-year-old chocolate malts and chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, don't you love those chocolate malts with that that wooden spoon? So the wooden spoon didn't had that taste of it, but the malts, it was just great. Just let them melt a little bit out there and have those cookies and Ballpark Express. Yeah, Hackman flaps down, right? Flap down, Jeffrey Leonard, Mike Ivey, Darrell Evans. Yeah, finally 2010 Magic. I thought, I was so excited for the Bay Area World Series in '89. We go down 2-0 to the A's in Oakland, and then we come home, and I'm thinking, hey, let's get back into this. We got a shot. We're not done. We could win. And that earthquake, man, it just took the life. I mean, after that, the games didn't even really mean anything when they came back like 11 days later. It was like, it's hard to be excited when you saw the devastation upon the Bay Area and the lives that were lost. It was tough. So to wait from '89, and then, of course, 2002, probably the most disappointed time I've ever been as a Giants fan. Game 6, up 5-0, seventh inning. Russ Ortiz on the mound. Dusty comes and gets him, hands him the game ball. I am inside. I'm nervous, but it's a kind of an anxious, nervous, up 5-0. I'm thinking, we're stinking 9 outs away. I've waited over 40 freaking years to see this. I'm like, this is going to happen. It's going to happen. I can't believe it. The Giants are going to win the World Series. And when that inning fell apart in the 7th, they got a 3-run homer. I think was it Troy Glaus or something? And then in the 8th inning, they give up 3 more and go down 6-5. And it's like, crap. They're going to lose this. And they lost that game, and you kind of knew that Game 7 was just, they had no chance. They just, yeah. And that rally monkey, yeah. I hated the Angels for that. Oh. Being a NorCal guy, hated everything about Southern California, especially LA Dodgers. I mean, that's why I was so happy to see the Lakers get swept on their home court with all those big wigs watching. Yeah, all those phony people from Hollywood. It was great to see them go down and walk out of that arena just embarrassed by the Denver Nuggets. Anything LA, I've been, LA's had our number the last couple years. Started with the Lakers beating the Warriors a few years ago in the play-in game, knocking, Warriors losing on that crazy shot from LeBron. And then the Dodgers beating the Giants in 21 on our home field on that check swing. And then the Rams beating the Niners. It's like, come on. San Francisco's got to turn it around and just blow out everything about LA sports. So anytime LA loses, it's a good day. It looks like Walker started in Sacramento. Maybe he'll be tried out as a number 5 star. I don't know if it'd be a 5-star. I would think Kyle Harrison would be the guy that gets the call up to start before Walker starts in the, where was I the moment the earthquake happened? I was actually going to go to the game. I was living in Southern California, and I was going to have tickets to fly up to the game, but didn't end up going. Got off work early, raced home. It was a 5 o'clock start, I think. right? Earthquake happened just right after, what was it, 5:01, 5:05, something like that. So yeah, that's where I was. What else we got here in the chat? Yeah, Lou says Dusty blew it. Yeah, that handing that ball to Russ Ortiz, the Angels took notice of that. It was like, hey, this game's over. And the Angels were like, hell no, it's not over. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he meant anything intentionally by it, but the Angels sure took it. Third time this year, Crawford lost in almost 3 errors. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, Lou. I don't know if he's hurting, if the back's bothering him, the leg, or if he's just mentally not sharp. But to make the kind of errors he made today, and he only got credit for one, but they were really 2 errors, just 2 easily misplayed balls. Yeah. Oh yeah, Russ only had 78 pitches. My goodness, I forgot that. He should have left him in. What was he thinking? The bullpen was gassed. Rob Nen's arm was shot to rely on. I mean, he should have left Russ in there and got him through minimum 7, maybe even 8 innings. Could have been up, still. Dang it. That was tough. So today's game, as Spencer says, bad game. It happens. Shake it off. Yeah. What are they? 7 of 9, something like that. Yeah. I mean, I'll take 7 of 9 every 9 games. Absolutely. You're going to play games like that, but you hate to see it happen on the road when you're going to Milwaukee. You hope that tomorrow that Logan Webb comes out and shuts him down, because they're going to need it. They're going to need a spark tomorrow, and Logan Webb's, he's your staff ace. He's got to pick you up. So have these guys pick you up and see where this thing goes. You gotta play 500 ball on this road trip. So I mean, they're 2-1. Ideally, right now, if they can come home 4-3, that's a successful trip. So they got to take 2. They got to go in and take 2. Go get the first 2, because Corbin Burns you're facing Saturday. You don't want to be, losing the first 2 games of the series and then have to face Corbin Burns. You may be looking at a sweep, something like that. So Giants got to come out tomorrow and, as Spencer said, shake this thing off. Bad day. And, in a way, you hate to see a team play like this, but I'd rather lose a 7-1 game where they just play like crap than lose a game in the bottom of the 9th, getting walked off when you're up 1, maybe up 1, and you get 2-run home run or 2-run double, something that knocks you out of the game. That's a tough pill to swallow. When you're out and you just stunk, this is the way, rather lose. Dan is back. I missed you. What happened to you? I don't know, Thunderbird. I was here last night. I was opened the show, and ended up closing the show. I was gone for about 40 minutes in between, 45 minutes. I had to go out and pick up a bike. But Dan, can you get a San Francisco Giants beat reporter on, please? We'll try to do that. I may have Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game join us sometime. Was texting him. And we'll get Marty Lurie on down the road. We'll get Ned Coletti on as we get closer to the trade deadline. And, we'll discuss the Giants. Hopefully the Giants are somehow in the wild card race. And if they're in the wild card race, then there'll be some possibly some significant trades that could be made. So we'll see where we're at in probably early to mid-July. We'll get Ned on, maybe in the middle of July. Chardal says, hey, can you be the co-host today? You know, Chardal, I'm not going to stay on too long. It's a afternoon. It's 1:30. I got to get some work done today. Just wanted to come on here, do a quick rundown of the Giants. I thought it was a pathetic performance today, but you do got to just shake those off. Have I seen Kyle Harrison lately? I haven't. I meant to watch the game last night because I have the MILB app, and I can watch all the minor league games. So I can watch the Richmond's Flying Squirrels. I can watch the Eugene Emeralds, and I can watch the Sacramento River Cats. Name slipped me for a sec. So, but Kyle Harrison pitched a great game last night. 4 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts in 4 innings. So only 9 strikeouts, 4 innings, and only 1 walk, which was very impressive. So very good job by Kyle Harrison yesterday. So if he keeps pitching like that down there, you'll see him sooner than later. What else do we got here in the chat before we call it an afternoon? Thanks to you guys regularly in the chat. If you go ahead and hit the like, we got a small crowd today. But hit that like button if you would. Helps the algorithms with YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, you probably already have. But if you haven't, hit subscribe, and then tell your friends about us. We're talking honest Giants baseball. We'll give you the honest rundown. So last night we had this broom here. No way to pull it out today and use it. Giants didn't get the sweep. They've had how many sweeps this year? Giants have had. Phillies, did they have another sweep in them somewhere? I'd have to look at the schedule. I can't remember. I know they swept the Phillies. I thought that was their first sweep. Yes, that was their first sweep. But if we look at this, where they're at, they swept Philadelphia, so they won that series. They won Miami series, and they won the Minnesota series. So they've won 3 series in a row, which is good. Now you go into Milwaukee, and you hope to get a split. If you come out of there with a series victory, you got something to really build on. But at least go in there. Don't get a split. Don't come out of there with a 1-3 record, or worse, getting swept yourselves. Mark Graves, no Robert today, must be giving up on the Giants. LOL. Yeah, Robert, it's only 4:30 back in your neck of the woods. Maybe he just waking up. Maybe Robert stays up till 2 a.m. on the East Coast because he's in these chats late. There he is. He's here. Good evening. The Giants today are way better off than 2 weeks ago. That is true. That is true. Dan, what ballpark realistically do you want to go closer to Arizona? Well, let me see if I can decipher what you're trying to say. Dan, what ballpark realistic you want to go closer to Arizona? Maybe you can elaborate on that, Thunderbird. I'm not sure if you mean what ballpark would I want to travel to that's closer to Arizona other than Arizona, or what? I'm not sure. Celts Chronicles. Hey, good to see you, Celts. Rich is in the house. Yes, the old Monster Slam Andrew Wiggins. Is that thing crooked? Let me look. Turn around this way. Not sure. Maybe it's the angle of. Yeah, we got the Monster Slam. I love that. That picture brings back memories. Yeah, SG Chardal says he loves it too. Wait, Thunderbird, your answer is Las Vegas Athletics. Oh, is that what he's saying? Dan, what ballpark realistic you want to go closer to Arizona? Oh, I see. A's moving to Vegas. We'll see what happens. It looks like they're going. I think it's a little short-sighted if on Las Vegas part and the A's if they only build a 30,000 seat stadium. I mean, that's like building a freeway with 2 lanes in California, and then you're just like, oh shoot, we need to widen it to 3. Oh no, we need 4. Heck, we might as well widen it to 8 or 9 lanes because it's still too many dang cars on the road. Drives me crazy when I see new freeways built and they go, 3 lanes here in Arizona, and then they, within 5 years, the dang things they're rebuilding it and they got all the traffic and congestion on it again because they didn't spend the money the first time. A's ought to build a minimum of a 35,000 seat stadium. 30,000 seats. Eventually, the A's are going to have all these young guys and they'll get good. Now, 5 years from now, A's will probably be a decent ball club and they'll have more money to spend. The owner will spend it. They'll be in Vegas with a 30,000 seat stadium. And you watch this decade, the A's will make some type of, run at a World Series later in the 2020s. And they'll only have 30,000. They wish they would have built that thing to at least 40,000 because they'll have 10,000 seats that they could have sold at $400 a ticket for a World Series. And they'll be thinking, man, I just lost $4 million tonight. Yep. I don't understand a 30,000 seat arena. Ballpark. It just everything they're building in Vegas, their basketball arena's small even for hockey. Their football, I guess, is okay. They did that one right, but football, So anyway, we'll see. Whoa! Didn't know that. Wow, did that happen today, Chardal? Did not see that. I haven't really looked at the news. I kind of was busy this morning and then turned on the Giants game. Had the volume down a lot on the Giants game because I was on the phone a lot doing stuff. And so didn't even hear about that. Tina Turner, wow. 83 years old. That's sad. I mean, she was a legend. Yeah. Tina Turner, some great songs, great musician. Sorry to hear about Tina Turner today. What else do we got? We got some chats in here. Wild card standings, great question. We could probably put those wild card standings up. The Giants were a half game out. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Hold on one sec while I go to pull up the wild card standings here. And we'll get those up here in just a second while you guys are working on that. You guys hold on here. There we go. MLB standings. All right. Let's pull up the wild card standings in the National League. And we'll share the screen here. And here we go. All right. Can you guys see that pretty clear? How's that looking? Pull it up, blow it up. All right. So we've got the Diamondbacks, who are playing really good baseball, 29-20. Pirates are 4 games, and Mets. Oh, the Mets are on a roll. Mets have moved up into the wild card, and the Giants and Marlins are a 1 game back. So they're right there. They're right there. We'll see where they go with it, but the Giants are 24-25, still very early, still 13 games left to go. They played 49, so they still got 113, and they're a game out. I'm good with that. Robert, I don't think you're correct here when you say they'll eventually take over Arizona. Arizona's got a lot of speed. They've got a couple of really good pitchers, a little more timely hitting, more athletes. I don't know. I like the way the Arizona club was built, and we'll see. Giants got veterans that are not coming through. Mitch Haniger is. Let's see if we can put up some Giants stats here. Let's see what we can do. MLB teams. Let's pull up the Giants. All right. Let's see if we can get the batting averages over here. Bring it down. There we go. All right. Let's see if you can see that. I'm going to blow it up a little bit. So I'm going to move the names over. We'll just get the last name so I can get – okay. So you got Estrada there, leading the Giants at 309. Look at Conforto. He's only hitting 219. Yeah, he's got 10 knocks, 24 RBIs. J.D. Davis, solid year right now, leading the club with 26 RBIs, batting 279, 8 homers. Lamont Wade having a pretty good year, 265. The on-base percentage is awesome, 425. Flores, hold on one sec here. Let me grab this quick call. Actually, no, I'll hold on. Text him. Okay, so we look at the at Wade, having a good year. Yaz hitting 252, 313 on base, or is that 310? Can't quite read it out. I think it's 310. Not that great, just a very mid. Sable doing pretty good for a rookie, hitting 275 on base, 345, 5 homers. But the guy that I'm really looking at here that are very concerning is you look at Crawford's numbers, hitting 172, has 1 home run, and Mitch Haniger, 2 home runs, hitting 200. Those are your, 2 of your vets that the club Farhan was counting on. These guys got to turn it around. Jock Peterson, he's been out for a while, still not able to grip a bat very well, so he's going to be out for a little while longer. Probably maybe on the homestand he might be available coming back. Phillies just walked off the D-backs, Patrick Sheehan said. Were they up pretty good? Wasn't Arizona up today? I didn't look at the scores that close. Let me see. Yeah, it's gone final 6-5 in 10 innings. D-backs were up 4-0 early on, And then the Phillies came back, got 3 in the 6th, 2 in the 9th to tie it, and 1 in the bottom of the 10th to win it. That's a tough getaway day for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they fall to 29 and 21. That's a tough loss when you're up 4-0. So, so Estrada has 60 hits, J.D. Davis 40. Yeah, you look at the hits there. 60 hits for Estrada. Is it 60 or 58? Did he get any hits today? Estrada went, let me look here. Yeah, Estrada was 2 for 5. Yeah, so those are, he's up to 60 hits. Yeah, because these stats were before today's game. So Estrada is now hitting 309. Maybe these are up to date. They're showing him hitting 309 still. I'm not sure if he's at 58 or 60 hits. So not sure if these are updated or not. But this is we really, the concern is these guys. Okay, look at Brett Wisely hitting 177. Okay, back in my day, that got you sent down as a rookie. I think you're going to see Isan Diaz up at some point. Casey Schmidt, solid 328. He's got, let's see, 10 RBIs now. Total bases 29. He struck out a total of 11 times in 58 bats. Bryce Johnson struck out 13, though, in 34 at-bats. So we're getting down to the bottom of these guys statistically. Guys aren't even on the team anymore, like Ruff and Roberto Perez, Austin Wynns, Cal Stevenson. So this is where I'm looking at, though. This right in the middle here, Mitch Haniger, okay? Look at Mitch Haniger. Let me blow up Mitch Haniger's numbers again. Okay. He's got 85 at-bats, only 17 hits, hitting 200, 2 home runs. That's not going to cut it. He was brought in here to hit home runs. They expected, talking to Kapler in spring training, he expected 30 home runs this year out of Haniger. We're past the quarter-way point. He's on pace for like 7 or 8 home runs. Okay? That isn't why he was signed at $18 million a year. That's just got to change. I mean, he's got to pick up the pace and hit a minimum of 20 home runs this year. So what else do we got here? Giants play tomorrow, Thursday night here against the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll come to you live after the game. Game starts at 4:40, so somewhere around 7:15-ish, 7:30 tomorrow night. Robert Rothberg says he's confident Haniger will turn it around just like Conforto. I hope you're right, Robert, but you would not make a great general manager because you believe in the optimism of everybody's best. At some point, you've got to look at certain guys and say they're not cutting it. We'll see. I hope you're right. You may be right, but not every Giant, Robert, is going to have a successful season. If they did, they'd win the World Series. And I know you think they will. I'm sticking here telling you all year long, they look like a 500 club. We'll see. They've been playing better than 500. They got to continue this momentum into Milwaukee At minimum, get a split, win 2, hopefully win at least 3 or 4. But if they come out of there anything less than a split, you're back to 3 under 500 if they lose 3 or 4. And if they get swept, you're 5 under 500. You do not want that to happen. So they got to go in there. And I think they'll win at least 1. I think they got a good shot at winning 2. They've played well in Milwaukee in the past. We'll see what happens, though. Milwaukee's playing some pretty good ball. Milwaukee right now is leading the Central Division. They're at 27 and 22. They've won 2 in a row. So, Giants are going in there. Team that's Milwaukee today. Didn't they play earlier today? Let's see. Milwaukee. Where are they? Looks like they may have an off day. No, they beat the Brewers. They beat the Astros. Milwaukee are the Brewers. Ding dong. They beat the Astros 4-0 today. So they're at home. They're rested. They don't play till tomorrow night. Giants got to catch a short flight from over Minneapolis over to Milwaukee. Not too big of a flight there. And Giants, what is it? 3:45. Giants will probably be catching that flight in about an hour or so. Yeah, they'll probably be in Milwaukee tonight by 6, and get their rest. So it's not too bad, but Milwaukee's will be waiting for them. Dan, to be the best, you have to beat the best. Well, tell that to the Giants with the Royals, the Tigers, the White Sox. Well, they did beat the White Sox 2 of 3, but they lost. Robert, they've been beating some good teams, but they've lost to teams they should be beaten up on. They lost 2 in Detroit, 2 in Detroit. They got to go back to Detroit, finish that rain game. They lost the series to Kansas City at home. There's another team they lost to on the road, or there wasn't that great too. Let me see, who was it? They lost 2 of 3 to Miami, who's average. You got to beat those teams, though, Robert. You got to beat up on the lousy teams. Likes my Giant hat. Thanks, Chardal. Yeah, I don't wear this one as much. Lo Steve, who was on the show last night, and he'll be joining us in the future several times to join us. He had a white hat on, which I like. I love the white hat. I've got this white spring training hat that's, I like white. I'm going to get me a Niners white hat myself. I went to order one the other day, but they were out of the one that I was looking for. So Alaska Airlines, hey, that would be sweet. Yeah. But anyway, hey, we've been going for 45 minutes. Enough talking here. Love your guys' comments. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hitting that like button. Tell your friends, family members about the NorCal Sports Network. We're going to be giving you honest Giants coverage. Hopefully the Giants can take the momentum they've had prior to today into Milwaukee. We'll be on tomorrow night somewhere in the neighborhood of 7:15 to 7:30 for the Giants postgame. Logan Webb takes the mound tomorrow night. He'll be facing, let's see, who's he facing tomorrow night? Logan Webb against Undecided. Now, Undecided is a guy who I don't know a lot about him, but he's, I heard he's a little shaky at times, but we'll see. Undecided is he sometimes he's got a really good curveball, a lot of velocity on his fastball. Sometimes undecided is likes to go with his off speed. So we'll see. We'll see how the Giants do tomorrow. Logan Webb against undecided should be a heck of a matchup, right? All right. Anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Chardal, Celts, you stay blessed too, Celts. Let's go Giants, 49ers, and Dubs. Yes. Chardal, we mentioned. Robert, thanks for joining us. Giants can't wait to redeem themselves, he says. Hopefully so. Bay Area Music Lens, Patrick Sheehan, INR 1996 Thunderbird. Mentioning Bay Area Music Lens, Lou Marston, John Norman, everybody who joined the chat, thank you. And we'll see you hopefully all tomorrow night. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.